Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Anyone who walks into a grocery store right now can tell you that it feels like a different experience than it did a year ago.
The governor's pushing his plan to lower prices at the grocery store. Pritzker says Illinoisans deserve a break.
President Biden hopes to ride the wave of success after the latest jobs report showed positive results. Some lawmakers say the president needs to laser focus on inflation next.
Plus, concerned community members are making sure every child in Rockford will stay warm this winter. Kids in need can find free cold weather essentials at a downtown storefront. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker touts his campaign-friendly budget proposals.
Pritzker outlined the plan in his State of the State address earlier this week. Included is a one-year suspension on the grocery tax, a temporary freeze on the gas tax, and a property tax rebate up to $300. The governor says the state has the money and is obligated to help.
Whatever we can do to bring down the cost for working families, we ought to try to do. The only reason we're able to do that, by the way, is because we've been fiscally responsible. We balance the budget and we have a surplus. What are we doing with that surplus? Well, $1 billion of it is going back into the pockets of people across Illinois.
State line Republican Dave Severson tells us the tax breaks are only a temporary fix to a bigger problem. He's pushing the governor to create permanent relief.
Governor Pritzker says he's optimistic Illinois could loosen COVID-19 mitigations very soon.
So I'm very pleased that we were able to weather this COVID storm, this Omicron COVID storm that came through. I believe that we should remove masks as soon as we possibly can.
At a news conference this afternoon, the governor says his administration is looking into repealing the mask mandate. COVID-19 cases have been dropping rapidly recently. Winnebago County logged only 32 new cases today, but there's no timetable to go maskless quite yet. The governor says he's consulting with doctors and health experts to find out when they think it is safe to do that.
A new labor report shows the U.S. is seeing record job growth.
The new numbers are beating economists' expectations, which were lower after the Omicron variant sidelined many workers. Our Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt breaks down those numbers as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
The high job numbers are a welcome surprise for the Biden administration, and the president is using the news to advocate for even more pieces of his agenda. The U.S. added 467,000 new jobs in January.
America's job machine is going stronger than ever.
Economic advisor Cecilia Rouse says it's another sign the economy is trending in the right direction.
In the last 3 months, we've seen job growth on average of about a little over 500,000 jobs per month. And it suggests that we've got a robust, solid labor market recovery.
But for several weeks now, Republicans like Senator John Thune have been focused on the problem of rising prices.
Because we're going to continue to talk about the fact that inflation is at the highest level that it's been in 40 years and the impact that's having on the pocketbooks of Americans all over the place.
Although average wages are also up, Republican Senator Roy Blunt says they aren't keeping up with inflation.
You compare that growth in income to the inflationary cost, and it's not a growth in income at all to working families.
President Biden agrees prices are too high.
Average people are getting clobbered by the cost of everything today.
He says he's working on resolving supply chain issues as well as pushing other parts of his agenda, like helping pay for childcare and lowering prescription drug costs.
There's a lot we can do to give families a little extra breathing room.
And Rouse insists January's report gives us reason to be optimistic about the future.
So what this tells us is we have the tools as we try to manage our way through this pandemic and keep our economy going as well.
And the Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates next month in an attempt to bring down the inflation. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
The Republican Party censures Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger for investigating the January 6th insurrection. The representatives were part of Congress's investigation into former President Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Cheney and Kinzinger voted to impeach Trump on insurrection charges, along with many Democrats. The RNC confirmed it will, quote, cease any and all support of Cheney and Kinzinger, but they're not ousted from the party. Kinzinger vows to keep fighting despite the setback.
Attorney Michael Avenatti has been found guilty on wire fraud and aggravated identity theft charges. Prosecutors say Avenatti defrauded his former client, Stormy Daniels, by telling her literary agent to send money to an account controlled by him rather than Daniels. The transactions totaled almost $300,000. Avenatti says he's disappointed in the jury's verdict and plans to appeal. The lawyer still faces a second trial in California where he's been charged with tax fraud and bank fraud. Avenatti has pleaded not guilty.
Multiple fire departments respond to a crash involving 3 vehicles. It happened this morning on State Route 76 near Manchester Road in Poplar Grove. Firefighters from Boone County and Capron Rescue were called to the scene. Pictures show a semi, a box truck, and a white sedan, all badly damaged. The wreck sent 2 people to the hospital. There's no update on their conditions. Investigators have not said what led up to the crash.
Vacant Winnebago County properties could soon see new life. You can bid on tax-delinquent homes, buildings, and land in the Rockford area. About 500 properties have been abandoned for at least 3 years. Bidding starts at $500 for empty lots, $1,000 for houses. Sales will be completed online. The Region 1 Planning Council hopes low selling prices will allow buyers to invest in the purchase and bring up the neighborhood's value as a whole.
We're trying to get properties out of this trustee program as quickly as possible, especially with weather breaking hopefully soon. We want to get these properties, during the construction season where people can start working on them and getting them into, their home, an investment home, or a house that they're going to sell to a new owner.
Find a link to the online portal using the My State Line app. Bidding ends February 15th.
Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women. And today is Go Red for Women Day, a time to remind ourselves to slow down and get healthy. Nancy Dageford is a nurse practitioner at OSF's Cardiovascular Institute. She warns a lot of issues can be traced back to other family members. If your parents have high blood pressure, you should make sure to monitor yours. If a grandparent has had a heart attack, have your heart health evaluated.
And oftentimes, we as women, we're so busy juggling family and jobs and homes and taking care of all of our loved ones around us, we forget to take care of ourselves. So it surprises me often when these vague symptoms occur and that it is something that we need to take care of.
Another tip, moderation is key, and move your body for 15 minutes twice a day if you can't get a full workout in.
Volunteers make sure local kids are staying warm during the thick of the Midwest winter. Jay's Social Cafe on West State handed out children's coats, hats, scarves, hygiene products, household items, and food today. Youth advocates had more than 100 items to give away thanks to a donation from Goodwill Life Launch. Lester Wright with The Right Way says it's important to uplift Rockford's youngest community members.
It takes a village. Man, whoever can do the same thing or come help donate with us, man, we need all the help we can get. It's a good feeling to be able to help the kids in the community. It's a great feeling.
If you know a child who needs winter gear, Jay's Social Cafe will have items available tomorrow until 4. Then next Tuesday at noon, the Winnebago County Health Department will be at the store giving out Narcan and glasses to people in need.
Couples looking to tie the knot on the most romantic day of the year will have to act fast.
After the break, the Winnebago County Clerk says V-Day is more popular of a wedding date than you might think.
A hometown hero is making Rockford proud in the NBA. A local store offers a unique way to show support for Fred VanVleet as he prepares for the All-Star game. We'll have details at 6.
We woke up to temperatures in the single digits. Today we did get back up into the 20s. Another cold night in store, but we have temperatures warming up in the middle of next week. I'll have all the details coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Lever, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
It's February, and love is in the air for anyone looking to get married this month.
Valentine's Day is just over a week away, and if you want to tie the knot on the 14th, you need to get a license soon. The Winnebago County Clerk's Office has interview slots next week. Marriage licenses are valid beginning the following calendar day after being issued. So if you want to be married on Valentine's Day, which is a Monday, you need an appointment no later than next Friday. If you want to get married at the courthouse, the ceremonies are first come, first served.
So because of the last 2 years of COVID, according to the research, we are anticipating double the number of marriages this year. So we know 2022 is going to be a very busy year. People have been putting it off, thinking that, the pandemic will subside, and now we're just tired and we're ready to get hitched.
Both people have to go together to the license interview, and it is a $40 cash fee. Celebrating young, budding artists in the community.
Local high school students will soon put their art pieces up for sale. The Budding Artist Gala is back on after having to cancel the last 2 years due to COVID. Student artists from high schools across Rockford donate their artwork for a live auction put on by the Kiwanis Club of Rockford. The community can bid on each piece. Half of the money goes to the Kiwanis Club, the other half back to the student. This is one of the biggest fundraisers for the Kiwanis Club, and one student at Rockford Lutheran says the opportunity is exciting.
I'm really grateful for all the opportunities that Mr. Howe gives us to expose ourselves to the community and do some really cool things and sell my art, which I've never even thought of doing before.
This year's event is Friday, May 13th at the Radisson.
The weekend is off to sort of a chilly start. Tomorrow's forecast shows more of the same.
But we could see a warm-up by Sunday. Meteorologist Jordan Wolf has all the details coming up after the break.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, we had some quick-moving snow showers that moved through the area earlier today, bringing some lighter, even steadier snow up toward the north in Rock and McHenry counties. Overall, most of us just saw flurries there for the afternoon. And behind that, temperatures are much cooler still picking up some snow showers here in Rockford, Janesville, and DeKalb as well. But look at those temperatures toward the back end of that, near single digits out toward Galena, with some of those clearer skies working their way back in. Here's all that colder air that'll be working its way in during the overnight tonight. That'll help drop our temperatures down pretty significantly. Behind those snow flurries, we did see some calmer conditions here. Our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera of downtown Rockford there. Here's those snow flurries getting picked up on Futurecast. Behind that, some cloudier conditions, but we do clear out into the overnight hours. That's going to help our temperatures really drop off into the overnight, down near 0 degrees or even below 0 out toward northwestern Illinois there, and even into Wisconsin as well. So definitely some much colder temperatures today. A lot more cloud cover works its way back in tomorrow, back near 20 once again. Another chance for some snow flurries there into the evening tomorrow. More cloud cover again into the day on Sunday as well. So to recap tonight, down to 2 degrees for our overnight low. Wind chills will make it feel even colder than that. Still a couple chances for some flurries here into the overnight evening as well. Tomorrow we'll be dealing with some pretty gusty winds as well. These will be out of the south, so they theoretically would be warmer, but with all the snow that happened just down south in the last week, it's going to bring all that colder air up to the north, so definitely some breezy and cool conditions for the day tomorrow. Wind gusts up to around 30 miles an hour. Those wind gusts hang on through the late part of the day, Saturday and early morning on Sunday as well, so definitely could see some chillier conditions as well. These wind gusts are part of this interaction between the high pressure and the low pressure. There's a little bit of a tighter pressure gradient, which will cause some windier conditions out of the southwest and south over the next couple of days. Now, with those wind gusts cause our wind chills to be a factor once again, down below 0 for the overnight tonight. And we don't really get much better for the day tomorrow. Back up into single digits for our wind chills pretty much throughout the day tomorrow. We do see a couple spots toward the end of that get back up above single digits. But overall, even though temperatures will look a little bit warmer, wind chills will definitely not feel so over the next couple of days. Temperatures tomorrow back up above 20, but again with that wind chill still making it feel like single digits through most of the day. Our jet stream pattern is supporting a quick cool down here after the weekend. This is for Monday, but then on the back side of that we have much warmer air with a ridge that will be developing that will be bringing our temperatures back up toward the middle part of the week. Now looking beyond this week, temperatures do stay relatively cool. Our Climate Prediction Center outlook showing probability of below average and below average precipitation as well over the next 6 to 10 days. And then as we look at our 7-day forecast, we really see temperatures start to drop off a little bit in the weekend, but we do warm up into Tuesday and Wednesday near 40 degrees. And we have a couple 30-degree days tacked on in the end there. But overall, a little bit warmer than what we've been dealing with over these last couple of days for sure. Definitely better conditions than the single digits we'll be dealing with overnight tonight.
It doesn't take much to improve on those temperatures, but that 7-day looks good. Thanks, Jordan.
Scott Levers in next with sports.
He has Fred VanVleet's reaction to being named an NBA All-Star.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Well, the news of Fred VanVleet being picked for the NBA All-Star game last night got us all excited in the 8-1-5. VanVleet's not a guy who wears his emotions on his sleeve. His goals are typically team-oriented, going back to his days at Auburn High School and then Wichita State. But this individual honor is something he definitely embraces.
Just proud, humbled and honored to be selected first and foremost. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about myself and kind of the will and the confidence that I've had to have, over the course of my life and my career. But to be recognized like that, it's a special moment for me and my family and all the people that have been a part of the journey along the way. So, I always try to be humble in these moments and show grace and just be thankful that I'm even, in this position.
The All-Star game will be played 2 weeks from Sunday in Cleveland. The Nick 10 boys basketball race picks up tonight locally. Auburn plays at Freeport, Harlem at Jefferson, East at Belvedere, Boylan at Belvedere North, and Guilford at Hononegah. David Greenberg and I will have the highlights tonight at 11 on Overtime on Fox 39. I'll also sit down with Boylan girls basketball coach Paul Peroni, who recently won his 500th game. And we'll spotlight the father-daughter coaching bond in the Bukowski family at Pecatonica. The Ice Hogs are in Iowa to face the Wild tonight. They'll have a rematch tomorrow evening at the BMO. Jim Harbaugh says he has closed the book on the NFL. He will not pursue another NFL head coaching job again. He has told Michigan's athletic director that his interview with the Vikings was a one-time thing and that he loves Michigan. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Jordan will have a final check of our weekend weather forecast in just a minute.
But first, here's a look at what's to come tonight on News Nation.
The Canadian government's stepping in to stop trucker protests. I'll talk with one of those protesters on why they continue to retaliate. Plus, Mattress Mac is back and he's live with me tonight. How many millions of dollars he plans to bet on the big game. That's On Balance. Here's Dan.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. The new Michael Jackson musical has many sounding alarm bells. What the musical chooses to leave out about Jackson's life shouldn't be surprising since his family's behind it. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
That's all coming up tonight on the fastest growing cable news network in America, News Nation. It's available on the cable and satellite stations you see here. You can also head to newsnation.com.
Our first one, interactive radar from Rockford Auto Glass, showing those quick-moving snow flurries through the afternoon and evening. Pushing out now, we'll have some colder temperatures once again tonight, down near 0 degrees with below 0 wind chills. We warm back up over the next couple of days, though, back up to 20 and 30 for Saturday and Sunday. Definitely will feel cooler with the wind, but we warm up close to 40 degrees toward the middle of the week.
40 sounds much better.
Sure does.
Thanks for joining us.
Stay safe.